What's up, Knucklehead Nation? We are live. I am Tavia Tenpow. Across from me on the screen is Maya. How do you pronounce your last name? I'm so sorry.
Paniagua.
Paniagua. Where's that from?
El Salvador.
Oh, okay. That's a new one. I haven't yet to hear that one. But we are here live with you on the Fighters Rep channel. We're gearing up for Fighters Rep 26, happening September 21st in Pompano Beach. And Maya is the female fight on the card. We're going to talk all about her upcoming opponent, what she's got going on, and we'll get to know her a bit. So first off, Maya, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm not too familiar with you. I know you're still new on the amateur scene, but let the fans and the Lions Den get to know you a little bit. Where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Florida, but my background's Brazilian and El Salvadorian. So
Okay.
I have that fighter's blood in me,
Yeah, absolutely.
My background is capoeira. I've been doing that for like 10 years. It's a Brazilian martial art, and I did boxing for a couple years before I went to MMA and kickboxing.
Okay, cool. Where did you start training capoeira at?
In Boynton, and
Oh,
it was
okay.
here, yeah.
Oh, cool, cool. So do you compete in that? Like, I don't really know much about capoeira. I'm a little familiar with the style. It's like a really freestyle
It's
form of martial art.
Afro dance, like fighting style.
Okay. Do you guys
Um,
have like competitions?
yeah, we had like a couple tournaments where I won first place and second place, but it wasn't really like enough for me because I like to compete. So
Yeah.
I found a sport where I could compete more.
Yeah. So how long have you been like competing? You said you did capoeira for like 10 years. Did you compete all of those years?
No, because the competitions only started like towards the end. So like I competed like 3 years.
Okay, cool. I don't know any capoeira practitioners, so it's very cool. Like, yeah, I've heard about it, very familiar with it from just like seeing it online, and a lot of jiu-jitsu and Brazilian people will do it. It's from your country, Brazil. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. So do you like to incorporate that in sort of your style of fighting sometimes? Like what are the moves? Like honestly, because I really don't know. I just know it's like a very freestyle form. So like break down to me like what is a basic move in capoeira?
So I try like to do the spinning back kicks a lot. I try to incorporate that. Like more of my style is like more like free. I'm very loose when I fight. But when I'm in sparring, I'm not really like that. But when I get in the cage, it just like comes out. I'm just like very like free. But in this fight, I'm gonna try to control myself because my opponent's very like karate Muay Thai style,
Mhm.
or like taekwondo, so I have to like keep my hands up, chin down, and
Okay.
just outbox her.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, your opponent, she's got some speed on her, Precious McKinley. We'll talk about her in a little bit. But okay, so you're from Florida, you're Brazilian and El Salvadorian. That's a good mix. Very athletic, tough. Like you said, you got that fighter's blood. Do you have any fighters in your family?
Not really. My
Oh,
dad
so
used
you're the first. How does your family feel about you competing?
they support me. They support me. They like it.
Awesome. Are they going to turn out on the 21st? We're going to get
They
some
yeah
Maya fans out there?
yeah plenty of them.
Awesome, awesome. All right, cool. So you did capoeira for about 10 years. You have some competition. So when did you step in the ring for like kickboxing or MMA? Like when did that kind of start for you?
My first fight,
Yeah.
it was in March. I'm pretty sure,
Hmm.
and it was in Rise of a Warrior. That was my first fight, and now I have this one, which is gonna be my second one for kickboxing.
Awesome. And so what led you to kind of go into kickboxing coming from that capoeira background? Like how did someone like recommend it to you? Were you just like, hey, I want to try this? Like how did you kind of transition from capoeira into the ring?
Well, first I did boxing right after capoeira because my main goal is MMA. So I wanted to do like boxing, then Muay Thai, then Jiu Jitsu. So then I can just learn how to mix it up all around. But my coach, he really wants me to have two kickboxing fights before I can get in the cage, to get the feeling out. So, which is fun because I can like learn how to deal with new styles, and so I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree with your coach. I think for anybody looking to do MMA, you definitely need to be well-rounded. We call it like you just want to have some experience in each of the disciplines because yeah, MMA is it's the real deal. Like you're going to be dealing with so many different types of people with different types of backgrounds, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get like the wrestler, sometimes you get the striker, but a lot of the time people will have like multiple discipline experience and I think that's super valuable, especially as an amateur. Like why not take advantage of practicing all these things before you decide to maybe step
Yeah.
in the pro ranks. So that's awesome. Yeah, and you I saw on your Instagram you just did a jiu-jitsu tournament. Was it a no-gi? Is that what it was?
It was gi and no gi.
Okay, so how did that go? How was that experience for you?
It was good. It was good. It was my second competition as a blue belt, and it was my first IBJJF competition, and I got third place. Obviously, not great, like happy about it, but I'm glad that I was able to compete and
Yeah.
more experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, shoot, the Olympics just passed, and those bronze medalists were happier than some of the gold
Yeah.
medalists out there. So it's not easy to even get on the podium. So I give you all the credit for doing that, and that's awesome. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu for?
The same amount of years that I've been doing kickboxing, so like a year and a half.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you started your training at a combat club?
Yeah.
So how did you come upon that gym?
I was looking for an MMA gym because I was doing boxing for a year before, and I'm sorry.
You're good. Hi.
And where was it?
Oh, he threw us off. He threw us
I
off.
was looking for an MMA gym to transfer into like the MMA jiu-jitsu, and I found Combat Club, which is like now it's like my second home. So
Yeah, that's awesome. I love when the gym becomes a home, and that's how
yeah,
it should be. So you train under Travis, and then I saw Buscape kind of training you too. I peeped that on your Instagram. So how is
yeah.
that training with someone like of his status, like a pro fighter? He's a black belt, he's got all this experience. What's that like?
It's great. Like you said, he has so much experience and he has so much knowledge. So like just even him giving me like just like a little like some wisdom is like amazing to me.
What's it like on the mat with him? Is he like really tough, or like how's his style of rolling? Because I know sometimes those
Very
Brazilian
tough pressure, just pressure.
yeah.
It took me a while to get my blue belt and prove to him that I was able to, that I was on that level, but I got there. So
Good. That's awesome. I love to hear that because it's true. It's like you want somebody to push you, right? Like that's what your coach should be doing is like inspiring you, but also pushing you and kind of like helping guide you. So that's great. It's good to see you're training with such high level, high quality people. So we hope to see some high level stuff in the ring on September 21st. So yeah, let's get into that. So your opponent, Precious McKinley, she is from California, but from what I understand, she recently moved and relocated to Florida. So she's actually here. And yeah, because I thought they were flying her in, and I peeped her Instagram, and it looks like she lives here now. So that's a new addition to the local scene as well. And she has some experience. She's obviously fought for the promotion before, and I'm sure you've watched those fights. So just like off first glance, seeing some of her fights, like what do you think of her style as far as, being her opponent matched up?
I think her style is very different for a kickboxer. She looks like she's more of like a taekwondo artist, or like her stance is very wide. So I'm gonna find ways to capitalize off that and look for the knockout.
Nice. Yeah, I watched her last fight that she did for Fighters Rep, and I noticed she's a very like quick twitch fighter. Like she's got really fast feet and she likes to react a lot. Like her reaction timing was something I jotted down because it was pretty quick. So how do you plan on dealing with somebody like that has like a little more experience than you? Like what's kind of like the method going through your head to like kind of overcome maybe some of that like, experience that she has and some of the pace that she has on you?
I think that, well, I don't think she's ever fought without headgear. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. So I don't think she's ever felt like real power or like, and I'm just gonna use my footwork and try and outstrike her or like outbox her, because I'm gonna try and let her do her thing for a moment and then just capitalize off her mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. So you're coming in with like the power, kind of the strong, like I have the power advantage over her speed, which I think is a
Yeah.
really good matchup because it's like that's what you kind of want to see. Sometimes when you get two really fast people, there's like a lot going on, but like nothing lands. Whereas like when you have someone who can set up a power shot, like yourself, like you're saying, you're going to set up a power shot, like that can be a real distinction in the
Yeah.
fight. And that's what I like to tell fighters all the time. We got to see that distinction because even sitting from my level where I commentate, sometimes it's very hard to see because of the ropes and the refs in the way. And you have to understand that's where the judges are too. So they're seeing all of that. So coming in with that power, coming in with that capoeira background and that boxing, I expect to see some good power shots from Maya over here.
You will. You definitely will. You definitely will.
Awesome. So you've got a kickboxing match, 1-0. You're taking on Precious in September. Hopefully going to get that 2-0. And then you have plans to do MMA. So how is your kickboxing experience? Like, where does this take you from here after this fight? Do you plan on like taking an MMA fight after this, or would you like to hang around the Lions Den and see what you can do for women's kickboxing locally?
Well, I definitely will do MMA after this fight. If my coach approves, hopefully he will. And if I can get some kickboxing fights here and there, I'll take any fight. Like if they get me a kickboxing fight, MMA fight, taekwondo fight, any fight, I'll fight.
Yeah, you're down. You're ready. You're ready to go. You just want to
Yeah.
get all that experience in.
Exactly.
Which I love to see. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 19.
Oh, yeah. You're young. You got plenty of time. So plenty of time and to train and get all that experience in. So that's awesome. How has it been for you? I wanted to ask, like, locally in the fight scene for a female. Obviously, working with Fighters Rep, George is trying his best to put on promotions every other month. He wants to get this thing rolling so we can have more fights available. But what's your experience been like as an amateur locally? Like, how do you feel the fight scene is? Like, do you feel like there's enough out there for you, or like, what's it been like?
I think there's a decent amount of girls for me to fight. I already have like a plan of girls who I want to fight in MMA. Kickboxing, I don't really know much because it's really not my goal. So I just whatever my coach can get me, I appreciate everything, and I just accept it and then just start training for it. But
Yeah, kickboxing is a smaller scene for sure, and that's where we come in. We're trying to make it grow because I think it translates really well into MMA. I mean, Muay Thai as well, boxing, but the kickboxing with the pace that's set and all the low kicking, like that's a very high level like thing in MMA. Everybody tries to get in on the low kicks. The calf kick is like the latest craze on MMA too. So
yeah.
I think kickboxing sets you up really nicely for that. So, did we lose you? Okay, there you are. Okay, but going forward, so I don't know what happened with the glitch there. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh no, hold on. We have a technical difficulty. Let's see. Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Oh no. Okay, hold on everyone. We're gonna figure this out. Let me see if we can restart here. Hold on. Okay, I might have. Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm gonna exit and we'll restart. Yeah.
Wait.
Okay. Hold on.
Should I leave and come back? Okay. How am I doing?
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. We're going to figure out this technical difficulty, but on the other note, I would love to promote the show. We've got September 21st happening in Pompano Beach. We've got September 7th happening in California. And then we're doing 2 shows in December. Okay, we got Maya back. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. It happens. This is what happens. And hey, we're live. We got to roll with it. So I was just promoting the shows. We've got 2 shows in September happening September 7th in Cali and September 21st here in Pompano Beach, which you're going to be on. And then Georgia's doing 2 more shows in December, again in Cali, and then another one on the 14th in Pompano Beach. So you guys can go online right now and buy your tickets. The fighters, I think you guys are all selling your own tickets, right? Like you guys get them. Yeah. And you guys definitely get them from the fighters because that always helps them as well to promote themselves. So highly recommend doing that. But okay, Maya, before I let you go, I do want to talk about your previous kickboxing match because I did see it. I thought you did great. It was a really good show of dominance. How was it? Because I think you guys were both debuting as kickboxers, right? Like that was her first fight as well. Okay, so how was it fighting kickboxing, Rise of a Warrior? That's a pretty big promotion, and going against another debut fighter from a really reputable striking gym. Like, what was the mindset going into that one?
Well, like you said, it was her first fight, so I didn't have any videos of her, or I didn't know anything about her, so I just went there and went to show how I dominate and how I'm gonna dominate everyone else.
Yeah.
It's really pretty much it. Like, we just trained the way I like to fight.
Yeah, there's kind of like a viral clip of you on their page of you like ducking headshots. Like, does that come from your boxing background? I mean, it was pretty slick.
Yeah, I mean, my coaches didn't like how my hands were done, but yeah, it was from boxing, the head movement. It was just like reflex.
Yeah, what was it like when you were going back and you're like, oh, it's like the Matrix, like nothing hit you. And it's crazy that they got it. I mean, obviously they were filming, but like the angle they got it at, it looked really, really cool. So what was that like for you when you were like in the moment? Did you realize that was going on?
No, like I noticed after, I was like, and then I got a little showy with it. But I was just having fun out there. I was like, it was just fun.
Yeah, it was a really dominant performance. Like you definitely put, the pace on her and you showed a lot of your power and your strength, which again, I think we'll see on September 21st. So before I let you go, do you have any last words for your opponent, Precious McKinley, before you see her at weigh-ins?
Watch out, I'm coming.
All right, you heard it here. That's Maya Paniagua. Say it one more time. I'm going to mess it up.
Paniagua.
Paniagua, and I got to get it right because I'm calling your fight on the 21st. She's going to be fighting in the Lions Den, making her Fighters Rep debut on September 21st. So go ahead, log on to fightersrep.com, grab your tickets. You do not want to miss this one. George is stacking this card, and come out and watch Maya put on a show because she's going to do that. So Maya, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you at the fights.
Thank you. Me too.
Have a good night.
Bye.